Hey, welcome back to That'll Do Garage. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be working on the 2001 F350 Super Duty. We're going to work on the driver's side mirror and the front grille, which are both broken and look terrible. So let's get started. So this is our project for today. This thing's all wobbly, broken out here. And if you look at the glass, it doesn't stay where it's supposed to. It bounces around while you drive, which is super annoying. And it's really faded. I hate how this plastic goes from this to this. I don't understand how that happens, but I got a new mirror, so we're gonna go ahead and bolt that on. Should be pretty simple. And then we're gonna attack the front grille after that. So a couple important things to note if you're gonna order up your own mirror. Number one, you need left or right side, right? Driver or passenger side. Also, some of them have a turn signal out here, so that's an interesting note. And then some of them are heated, so you'll need to know those factors when you go to order yours. But there's lots of different vendors out there for them. You know, you could probably get one from Ford too for $1 zillion, but I got an aftermarket one. Something about this truck says not super concerned about appearance, but anyway, so we're gonna get in here. I think we start with these rubber pluggy things here. It's going to be an electrical connection because it is a power mirror. And yeah, let's just get started. Okay, first question mark. I see 2 here. And on this guy, my replacement, I see 4. So I suspect that these front 2 are the 2 visible ones, which means these back 2 are probably behind this black cover. So let's see if we can get this thing off of here without breaking something. Oh, that's good. These just have a spring clip on them. This thing I found inside a door, like down here, forever ago when I was a mechanic at a dealership. So I never bought one of these, but I use it all the time. And this is doing nothing, so I'll put that over there. Okay, so yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably like a 10 millimeter. It's actually 11 millimeters. Just don't want to drop the screw down in the door. Who knows where it'll go. So I'll do that. There we go. Well, I was looking to see how to disconnect the electrical connection there, and I can't see it very clearly from up here, so excuse me, I went to look at this one, and this is pretty long, so I'm going to guess that the connector is actually down inside here. I was hoping to do this without pulling the door panel off, but the connector is probably down here somewhere. So now I think what I'll do is pull this door panel, and that way we can access the connector without you know, breaking anything. Well, we're going to start with this electrical switch plate here. We're really testing my memory. It's probably been about 15 or 18 years since I took off a Super Duty door panel, but anyway, we're going to start up here and disconnect all of these switches, and then there's various hardware spread throughout the door. Well, sometimes you need 3 hands for this kind of stuff, but don't worry about the connectors mixing them up. They are usually indexed with stuff like this, so you can't put the wrong one in the wrong place. And also, you know, you can see I'm struggling here like they do get kind of stuck in there. So you want to be careful to, you know, in this case we have this little latch thing right here. And you just want to make sure, see I just popped it back in, but you want to make sure you have that held down and then give it a good tug, but often they won't come out. So I'm just going to hold this thing down and then give it a little bit of force with a screwdriver like that, just enough to break that initial friction. Not to break the connector though. There we go. And I'm just looking at them too to make sure nothing looks melted or burned or, you know, broken. And then we got one more to go here. There we go. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Set that aside. Okay, that revealed this screw here, which I want to say is like a 6 or a 7 millimeter. We'll find out. Sometimes there's screws down inside by the door handle, but not on this one. Also, sometimes there's screws over here or on the edges, but not on this one. We should have one, yeah, here. This is conveniently already missing, but there's a little red, you know, reflector thing. So we got one there too. And one on the bottom. Anything under there? Nope, nope. How about in the pocket? Sometimes they're in the pocket. No, no. Okay. So we might just have more of these spring clippy deals. They don't really need to be unlatched or anything. You kind of just pull them straight out. So it's probably a combination of a couple of screws and then spring clippy deals. Now I'm going to start working my way around the edges with my pry bar tool thingy to try to get it to pop out a little bit. It's a little bit of muscle and kind of a finesse thing, because if you use too much power, you'll break the clips, and if you don't use enough, you think you got screws still stuck. So, you know, it's a little bit of a balance. You give it a good cautious tug, and if it doesn't come off, you know, keep looking for screws or something like that. Alright, so I want to show you what I found here. I started prying down here because there was a gap down here, which means the door panel's been off already. But these little brackets here, they actually kind of slide down into a slot inside the door. I know it's hard to see, but... So that's the type of thing where you actually have to come out and up at the same time. But we did make some progress. We have those popped out, and let's see. Let's kind of keep working it up here. Might have more hardware on the handle, I'm not sure yet. And you have to pay attention to the lock too, because that can hold you up. So let's try lifting a little bit up and out. Yeah, there we go. So I just grabbed the handle and I went more up than out. And now it loosened up a lot. So what do we got here? Well, there we go, okay. So we're still gonna have this light connected. The light that isn't hooked up and won't work. I'm just going to twist it. Comes right out. Bulb's burned out. And then I should be able to just, yep, okay, there, perfect. So this is what that looks like. Screw hole there. You know, more of these up and out kind of latches. All the way around. Nothing there. Nothing there. So yeah, we shouldn't have broken anything. Now we have a splash shield. I've heard this called a splash shield. Try to keep all the water out of the cab. I don't know. These should all have cutouts like this. See how I could actually slide the lock through there, so that way you don't have to break it. But we can probably leave this in place. We're just after the mirror connector, so I'm just going to peel this back a bit. That's a window regulator, I think. Might want to pull the speaker. This is a good way to gain access to the inside of the door. So let's do that and poke our head around in there. That looks like it's really small. That might be a 5.5. Yep, it's 5.5. So we'll just disconnect this guy. Lovely. Alright, so continuing our investigation, this is the speaker connector, this is the power window connector, that's the window. I'm guessing this is the mirror. Let me see up there. Seems right. If I wiggle this up here, yeah. I wiggle the mirror, this thing moves. So I'm going to support the mirror and then I'm going to disconnect it right here, and that should allow it to come out. Okay, just sizing everything up here. Looks pretty good. Got the same or very similar 4-bolt pattern, general shape. It looks right, so there's a good chance we're on the right track here. Now you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute. That's a square connector. That's a round connector. But just so happens, got this fancy little adapter doohickey, which will just plug right in. Right there, and it should be the same as that. So I just had to pull this back off. The big rubber gasket was sticking out just a little bit up here, so it was visible and the mirror wouldn't go in all the way, so I couldn't start the nuts on the studs. But I also wanted to point out the holes in the studs have a lot of room. You could actually kind of move this thing around. So you're going to want to keep an eye on that and make sure that it lines up with the body lines when you tighten it down. Okay, so he's back in mechanically. I'll make the electrical connection now. Okay, looks good. Now we'll tuck this back in here. Yeah, that's good. Kind of hides behind the harness down there. Now we just got to put the speaker back in, door panel back on, switches back in, and the plugs back in. Piece of cake. Everything looks good. Power mirror works. So all set. I did notice this thing telescopes out like this. I guess I didn't realize they did that, but I'm gonna keep it in. Probably helps it live longer. All right, let's back it up a little bit and try to replace that grill. Can't really squeeze in there. All right, here's the damage. Shouldn't be too bad. My only question is how I get this off. I assume the new one didn't come with it, so let's see what happens here. I don't know, that's kind of black. That's kind of gray. I'm not sure that I care. I mean, this looks nice too. Got a tiny scratch here to transfer the emblem somehow. But I think it's the right shape. Oh, it pretty much just drops on there, so got to be the right one. Well, so far all I see is these screws up here. Pretty sure I've never done a grill on a Super Duty before in all of my Ford truck days. So let's zip these screws out. It looks like that's it, just the screws on top, and then we had some more spring clippy deals down here, so just had to give it a good pull. I don't know how to take this emblem off. How does that work? It just pushes in there, just friction? Seems kind of low tech. Well, I don't have to save the grill, so try to bust out these little plastic things, and maybe this will just slide right out, and then I can just slide it right into the other one. Wow, it is that low tech. So it's just gonna squish it in there, I guess. Got a couple pins on there. Is it facing the right way? Yep, alright. It goes in there. And it goes in the middle one. And that goes in that hole there. That's good. Wow. Okay, seems like something I would design, but okay. I am missing one, but this one and that one were out of place. They just kind of can be pushed around in that slot, so I try to get them all centered and hopefully that'll be straight. Apparently you can change this grill in like 3 seconds with just a Phillips screwdriver, so that's fun.
Didn't really work to put the grill in place with these here, so I'm gonna see if I can take them out and clip them onto the grill before I put them in here like that. Maybe I need a screwdriver. Might be a second tool. Gone. Okay, so I think I did it. Push on the bottom. Yeah. Now I'll go clip that onto the grill. Just noticed that. What's that? Probably new clips. Yep. Okay, good. Now I have 4. Too easy, man. I thought that was going to be way harder. Thought I was going to have to glue this thing on. That was a piece of cake.
Well, that went pretty well. I hope if you're doing this job, it goes as good for you as it did for me. Thanks for watching.